How's it? Today is Saturday, February 3rd. First Saturday on the new block. Just doing deadlifts today. Normally on Saturdays I bench as well, in addition to the deadlifting, but I mismanaged my time today, which happens all the time. But today I got to the gym and I had plenty of time to do everything I needed to do, but like about 4 sets into my deadlifts, I just started talking story, chopping it up with the boys, and I ended up just wasting a lot of time doing that. And for what it's worth, I'm cool with that. I don't compete in the bench press. I don't compete in the deadlift either. So just doing the strength lifts for me is just one of those like extra pieces of work that I do like to do. Um, for today, because last week I was like a deload week, right? For today, I went back down to 150 for my deadlifts. 2 weeks ago, I did 155 for 3 sets of 5. And when I talked to my coach earlier this week, he told me do 5 5s at a pretty good weight. So I was like, okay, 5 5s. I haven't done necessarily 5 5s on any of my deadlift days recently. So I was like, if I start again at 155 or maybe even go up to 160, is that going to be a good idea? And I was like, I don't know. So I decided to just drop it down 5 kilos just so that I knew that I could make all the lifts today. Um, it went pretty well. I feel like a lot of the quality of movement that I had before is still there. And I feel like my upper body positioning is a lot more stable than it used to be. And I'm happy with the way that that feels and the way that that looks. One thing that I was noticing today when I was warming up for all of these deadlifts was my hip flexor is still hurting. From I guess last time I mentioned it was probably on Tuesday when I was just back squatting. My left hip flexor is it's I don't know, it's not sore, but it's very tight and it's achy and kind of uncomfortable when I have to bend and everything. Um, but other than that, I think my deadlifts went pretty well today. I was absolutely exhausted for um, for me. Like Saturdays are hard because Friday night is the longest night of the week. Maybe Saturday night is the longest night. I don't know, but the weekend nights, Friday and Saturday at the restaurant, are horrible. I usually get home, if I'm lucky, like 11, 15, something like that. And so if I'm trying to keep everything together and make sure that I have enough clothes for tomorrow, enough food for tomorrow, then I need to make sure that I do that when I get home. And so then what happens is it pushes everything back to me going to sleep at like 2:30, 3 o'clock ish. And then with that being said, you're like, oh, like shit, I'm kind of fucked for everything when I wake up because I'll wake up late. And then I'm trying to get as much like 8 hours of sleep as possible, and then just get to the gym whenever I get there, right? But yeah, this is my first set here, 150. Pretty easy. I try my best to do everything as touch and go as possible. I think on maybe was it this set where I on the like fifth rep I put the whole thing down because the bar is falling out of my hands. I think it was this one. It might have been, yeah. So um, maybe it was the third rep that I put it down and go for the, I don't know, whatever it is. But like you look at the speed on the bar, everything is moving pretty well. And like I said, I feel like my upper back and my upper body itself is positioned in a very, it feels like I'm stable. It feels like I'm getting to a position that I wasn't in the past. And I don't know if that's because the small amount of upper back flexibility and upper back mobility that I'm trying to achieve through my T spine warm up is making an impact on that. It could be very well true that that is the case, but I'm unsure. Um, Today, like after deadlifts, I set up the bench press and I did one warm up set. I filmed it and everything, but I didn't end up benching because I didn't feel like I had enough time to hit a 5x5, like a reasonable 5x5. But for what it's worth, my shoulder was feeling good. My shoulder hasn't felt good on the bench press when I was warming up since I started benching, 7 weeks ago, or however. I don't even know how long ago it was, but my shoulder hasn't felt good, and today it felt good. So I'm definitely moving in the right direction. I think the T-spine mobility moves, the peanut, the prayer, kind of open book, all of these things have been helping me achieve the flexibility and mobility that I need to make sure that my shoulder is okay. You know, for my accessories today, I did Bulgarian split squats and then some back extensions. I really wanted to do some dumbbell overhead walks, but again, I didn't have a lot of time, so I felt like I wouldn't even risk um, running overtime due to those things. But moving forward, I will make that more of a priority. I know I said that in the past, but now it feels like I'm actually getting footing on recovery for my shoulder. So that is exciting. It's very promising sign. It makes me hopeful for every time I come into the gym. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.